They say if your kid's messed up, it's probably your fault.
Did you get gay with one of your schoolmates tonight?
Well, that checks out in South Park, from Butter's over-the-top punishments to Randy Marsh setting the bar for worst dad energy. These parents have given us every parenting fail imaginable. But here's the kicker. Buried in all that absurdity, South Park accidentally teaches some pretty solid parenting lessons. Let's break down the top ways this show is secretly a masterclass in raising kids. If you do the exact opposite of what they do. This is Toonlightenment, where we learn life hacks, lessons, and coping skills from cartoons. And today, South Park is in session. Grab your cheesy poofs, class is starting. Number 1, maybe don't feed your kid a heart attack. Leanne Cartman is sweet with a touch of clueless. She clearly loves her son, but she's not exactly a dietitian. From early in South Park's epic run, Leanne is seen offering questionable food combos. From the first lesson, Leanne Cartman offers him this legendary comfort food, powdered donut pancake surprise. Let's break this down. There's about 8 powdered donuts, 7 pancakes, and enough syrup and butter to send a cardiologist into hiding. We're talking over 4,200 calories in one sitting. Maybe that's why she calls it a surprise. Surprise, you're going to have a heart attack. Cartman turns her down. Why? Because people at school called him fat. No way! But mom continues to enable her son's apocalyptic eating habits by telling him,
"You're not fat, you're big boned."
That's what I told him, but he doesn't listen to reason.
Cartman eventually settles for an alternative treat, chocolate chicken pot pie. Nice choice to add protein. So, Cartman's eating habits are a testimony to the consequences of indulging. Through endless access to cheesy poofs, cereal bombs, fried chicken skins, and other weapons of mass digestion, Leanne never seems to be good at restraining the appetite. It actually took a dog trainer, yes, a literal dog trainer, to teach Cartman's mom about discipline and nutrition. In TSST, it's not even Cartman's dietary habits that prompt the intervention. It's his general aggressive, bully-prone interactions that land him in trouble. Leanne finally calls in the big guns. She solicits a number of famous television nannies who eventually fail, leaving one in a secured mental facility due to Cartman's cruel and manipulative tactics. Enter Cesar Millan, famously known as the Dog Whisperer. Cesar gets right to work applying dog training methods to the rehabilitation of Cartman and his overall bad behavior. He sort of acts like a dog, so why not treat him like one? Cesar applies a dog training tactic to show dominance that he says works equally well on a child. During the whole rehabilitation, Cesar and Leanne nip Cartman on the neck to show dominance. And guess what? It works! Cesar's tactics are unconventional, but so is Cartman. Not only does his behavior soften, but he eventually settles for healthy food choices like skinless chicken, steamed vegetables, salad, lean ham, and grapefruit. He even loses about 10 pounds. Not that he's happy about it. Now, this episode has more than just training Cartman. It also includes getting better grades and plotting to kill his mom, because she's actually successful transforming Cartman into a better version of himself. And then an exorcism after Cartman's evil spirit is replaced by a better one. Well, the transformation of Cartman lasts about 5 minutes. But here's the parenting takeaway. Your kid won't grow up to be Cartman if you limit sugar. Probably, unless they're already plotting world domination. Then you've got bigger problems. Number 2, good behavior is good, bad behavior is, well, South Park. So, we all know the importance of setting a good example. But the beauty of South Park is that we can all see just exactly what is considered setting a bad example. Here's the lesson. Conventional wisdom about setting a good example? Actually follow it. Don't just observe it from the sidelines. How many times have we seen the South Park parents completely lose their moral compass to show their offspring what not to do? Let's see. To name a few, we've got drunk driving in Bloody Mary. Drunk stoned everything in the Christmas snow. Parents literally wearing I'm with stupid t-shirts. And the entire Tegrity Farms weed empire. These kids didn't learn chaos, they inherited it. In Bloody Mary, Randy drives the boys home drunk, taking 2 beers with him, peeing in a bottle, and then getting arrested. Yes, I laughed. It's very South Park extreme. But to be fair, Stan, Cartman, Kyle, and Ike do have those shocked and scared expressions. Then there's the Christmas snow. South Park's whole parenting community drives merrily around the town on Christmas Eve. too merry. They're all drunk, crashing into anything that gets in their way. That's not alarming to the kids at all. Another one, yelling at your spouse or calling them names is also something that happens. And Kenny's mom perpetually wears a t-shirt that says, "I'm with stupid," and always seems to be positioned where the arrow points right at Stuart. Then in The Poor Kid, Stuart and Carol are fighting with their own kids and then getting arrested for having a meth lab while being filmed on a TV reality crime show. Finally, there's the weed thing, from the conception of Tegrity Farms and all the parent customers. South Park doesn't just dabble in parental paraphernalia parties, it practically has a punch card. The Tegrity Farms saga turned marijuana into a family business. No wonder these kids are unhinged. If bad behavior is hereditary, the parents are basically serving it up with a side of tequila shots. These episodes are hilarious, but they're also proof. If your kid's a chaos gremlin, check who they learned it from first. Number 3, tech won't raise your kids, but it might ruin them. Social media. It's the magical place where kids go to feel connected and somehow come out feeling worse about themselves. South Park nailed this in the episode You Have Zero Friends, and honestly, it's still one of the best lessons for parents today. First up, Kyle. He's friending everyone, and their grandma, literally. But here's the catch. Every new friend tanks his social score, turning Facebook into a brutal popularity contest. Sound familiar? Then there's Stan, who doesn't even want a Facebook account, so his friends and parents make one for him. Because nothing says I respect your privacy like forcing you into the digital spotlight. And while the kids stress over numbers, Cartman's here running Wall Street, turning friendships into stock trades. By Kyle. Selkip Drorty. This is where it gets real. Stan literally gets pulled into Facebook, trapped in a nightmare of Farmville invites, likes, and notifications. It's a perfect metaphor for how social media can swallow kids whole, making them feel anxious, lost, and constantly judged. But here's the real heart of the episode. Kyle befriends Kip, a lonely kid with zero friends, changing Kip's whole outlook on life. One genuine connection, not hundreds of fake ones, makes all the difference. South Park isn't just making fun of social media, it's warning us. Popularity contests and online pressure steal kids' confidence more than building self-esteem. Maybe the best parenting move isn't more screen time management apps. Maybe it's just teaching kids that friendship isn't measured in likes. We also see the dangers of technology and changing your aesthetic in The Hobbit, which drags beauty filters into the spotlight. And you've got a crystal clear warning. Tech can mess with your kid's mental health faster than you can say friend request denied. And if you think filters are bad, wait till ChatGPT starts writing your kids love letters. In Deep Learning, Season 26, Episode 4, the boys outsource their entire romantic lives to AI, proving that kids will literally robotize their emotions if given half a chance. The plot, the boys, especially Stan, Clyde, and Cartman, use ChatGPT to text their girlfriends and write homework, making themselves look like perfect boyfriends. The conflict, the girls find out they've been talking to an AI, not their boyfriends, leading to drama about honesty and communication in relationships. The lesson, it's not that technology is evil, but the South Park stories suggest that parents should beware that overuse and misuse of social media, AI, and other fun tools can have negative effects and backfire socially and emotionally. Number 4, pay attention. Butters' parents, Stefan and Linda Stotch, are proof that helicopter parenting doesn't equal good parenting. They've grounded Butters for breathing wrong, and in Butterballs, he's being bullied by his own grandma, while his parents focus on anything other than what's going on under their roof. Stefan and Linda just chat away during dinner while not even noticing Grandma picking her nose and then rubbing it in Butters' mashed potatoes, then poking his leg with a fork, and his parents completely oblivious. Too busy discussing, actually, who knows what they're discussing? Certainly not the biological warfare happening in their mashed potatoes. Butters eventually misplaces his bully anger on Dr. Oz. And as usually goes with Butters, he doesn't get reprieve from his Grammy's bullying until he confronts her. Mom and Dad never had a clue. How about Tweek's parents? Tweek is introduced in the second season as a very jittery and anxiety-ridden classmate. You would think he may want to talk to Mr. Mackey about his anxiety, but we found out that his tweaky tendencies are a result of his mom and dad constantly nourishing their child with coffee from their family-owned coffee house. You would think the parents would see how all that coffee affects their son. Even when Kyle suggests the jitters are from the coffee, Mom says it's because he has ADD. How much money could they be saving in medication if they just paid attention to the true issue? In this episode, Tweek keeps talking about the underpants gnomes, something the group should write a report about. They come out at 3 a.m. and steal your underpants. Tweek knows this because he can't sleep, ever. The boys stay overnight at Tweek's house, mainly to write the report, then decide they should ingest mass quantities of coffee to stay up to see these menacing characters. Big surprise how children consuming all that coffee are affected. When the chipper gnomes appear at 3 o'clock in the morning, Dad illustrates his inattentiveness, when he doesn't even notice because he's too busy reading the report he wrote for the kids as a campaign against corporate enterprises crushing small mom-and-pop businesses. So Dad is more concerned about his own needs over what is actually going on right under his nose. Lesson? Whether it's Grandma's biological warfare or Dad's anti-corporate manifesto. South Park shows us that parents are often too distracted by their own stuff to see what's going on right in front of them. Pay attention. Notice the boogers. Believe the gnome stories. Your kid's reality matters more than yours. Bonus lesson. As part of a reinforcement about healthy food, coffee really isn't a good idea for second grade kids. So, we've covered nutrition, behavior modeling, technology, and paying attention. But South Park's parenting disasters can't stop there. Because here's the thing. You can feed your kid right, set a decent example, monitor their screen time, and actually notice what's happening. But if you're not emotionally showing up for them, you might as well be Randy Marsh. And speaking of Randy, let's just say there's a whole other level of parenting fails we haven't even touched yet. Ones that involve emotional support, honesty, and, well, not being a man-child who starts a weed farm because he's bored. But that's a story for another day. If you want to see what happens when parents really drop the ball emotionally, morally, and spectacularly, stick around. Part 2 is coming, and trust me, it gets worse before it gets better. Until then, hit that like button, subscribe, and comment your favorite South Park parenting disaster. Because honestly, we all need a little more Toonlightenment.